It's pizza time. I'm stoked to be bringing you back to the classics again with the chalices of love, the Roni Cups, a Roni pie, Peps, pepperoni, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I think that is, does it go down as America's #1 most ordered pizza? I think it's something like that. Probably right in there with the cheese one, but it's a bomb one and one of the most requested pies of all time, especially when you get that cupping Roni. That's what people really like to see these days. Those nice little chalices of love. I'm going to show you how I do it up in the Ooni Koda 16. So really important here of, how do you get those Roni cups? In order to get the Roni cups, you want to be using a pepperoni that has a natural casing. The natural casing is what's going to give you that cup. It doesn't really matter what brand it is. It just, as long as it has a natural casing, you're far more likely going to get that to cup. What I'm using today is boar's head. That's just one I can get pretty easily. It comes in sticks like this, and you can just hand slice it. I slice them, I just go as thin as I can. And there's other ones, like the Ezos, they have ones that's pre-sliced. That stuff's bomb too. Vermont Smoke and Cure, that's another good one. When I'm looking for a pepperoni, for on a pizza, I want to use something that, exactly with that natural casing, but you don't need to go super fancy on it. There's some amazing pepperonis out there that you might serve up on a charcuterie platter. How do you know? They're typically expensive. If you're at the store and it's it's slicing up and it's the poundage and on that is looking pricey, that might be something you want to snack. Or they actually are bomb on pies, but that might be one where you put just a few onto the pizza. When you're going Roni Cups, we want to load that thing up fatty style. Along with the Roni, we're just keeping it super classic today. I'm just going on the base of my tomato sauce. That's up on my blog, santabarbarabaker.com. It's just tomatoes whirled up with some salt. For this style, I like to do, it's like that pizza parlor. I'm going to go for a New York thin and crispy bake today. I like to hit it with the oregano. Put that on the sauce base. That perfumes up so bomb. And then the cheese, I'm always changing up my cheese blend. I hope to go into a deeper dive into cheese. I had a former life as a cheesemonger, so I'm pretty big into cheese, I could say, but I just like to play with it. I feel like my world of going into that cheese world opened me up to the possibilities of what you can mix. Today I got, this is nothing too fancy here. I just got the aged mozz. It's part skim, low moisture, along with some Havarti, and also the only fancy thing in here, we got some Parmigiano Reggiano in the mix. I like that. It's salty. It's good. And also, I think I mentioned it before, it keeps, when you shred the cheese, it can stick together. Like if you get a bag of that swag bag stuff, they coat it so it doesn't stick. Here, I'm just using some Parm to get that same effect. It's all gonna ride on another batch of the natty sourdough. This is a similar dough to the one I had the other week where I did the full, from dough to pizza journey. Hopefully that was a fun one for all of you. But this is a similar batch. I dialed back the T85 a little bit on this one. And also I threw just 5 grams of durum in the mix. If you're not familiar with durum, that's it's essentially semolina, you could call it. But that's gonna be, add a little more chew. You don't want to go probably too high in that, but some breads actually use a ton of semolina. It's a nice product. It's fun to play around with. It will definitely give you that chewy texture if that's something you're looking for. Also, it can suck up a ton of water, so that's one that you can add into the mix. If I kind of like that when you're doing more pan type stuff, that you can really bump up that hydration level because that thing can suck it up. You'll get those big bubbles. But we got this. This is looking good. I baked up a pizza last night. It was looking bomb. I'm really into it. Seems like a nice batch of dough. I got the Ooni cranked up right now. His center deck was around 850. I'm going to do that same style of bake, what I've been doing for those thin and crispies, where as I'm building it, I'm going to turn it down during part of that when I'm feeling it to the clockwise, where you hit that click. It's that little lightning bolt symbol on there. Then past that is this little range that you can dial the oven back to a little bit lower temps. That'll give us that longer bake, more that New York, if you want to call it. We'll just call it thin and crispy or something like that. We're calling it good pizza. I'm gonna get this thing stretched. We'll build it. I'll show you how I get those Roni cups all on there. Get those chalices of love fired up. I'm excited on this one. It's classic pizza parlor vibes. It's pizza time. Let's get this thing going. It's pizza time. I got this thing stretched out. This is a 315 gram dough ball this week. Shooting for, maybe 14 inch. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to stretch it again once it gets on the peel. Starting off on the base with just one ladle full of tomato sauce for a New York style or thin and crispy, whatever you want to call it. I don't like to go too big. I just like a slick kind of across all of it. This might be even a little bit heavier than I like, but I like to, just make sure it's covered everywhere. Oh, goobing it there with like always make sure that marble's clean, or I'm gonna have issues when I'm picking this pie up. Then next, hit it with the oregano on the bottom. That's gonna give me that full pizza parlor slice kind of vibes. Always bomb on a pepperoni pizza. We're just keeping it super simple. Just a Roni pie today, but with the Roni Cups cheese blend next. I don't like to go too big on this either. I want that kind of like malted, splotted look. That classic kind of like slice vibes going on. It's a blend of Havarti, the aged mozz, and some parm in the mix. Looking really good. That's one of my favorite blends. Coating this thing up. We're gonna shoot probably for around a 4-minute bake on this one. I got the oven still cranked up, and at some point here I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, probably right after I finish building this here in a second. And then we're gonna fire it on that kind of lower range of the oven. All right, now the important part, the Roni Cups, the moment everybody's been waiting for. We got the natural casing Ronis. That's the most important thing for your cupping. You can play around with how thick you slice them, or if you get them sliced at a deli, you can ask them. But I mean, I'm like right there. I don't know how much that is. It's maybe a little on the thick side, but it should be bomb. I think a lot of times when he's making pepperoni pizzas at home, people maybe are not getting what they, the look that they like. I think lots of times that might just be like, you're not going big enough on the Ronis. You got to hit the Ronis hard on this thing. Cover that thing in peps. Surprisingly, you can put a lot on there and they just kind of shrink up. So I like to go big always. Not really overlapping them, but just filling it in completely from the outside in. We're going to go fatty today. The Roni love. One of my favorite toppings of all time for sure. I feel like some people can, I don't know who they are. Occasionally you hear somebody hating on Roni like it's like it's too poverty of a topping or something. I don't know about that. Those people are eating a slice in the back or something. It's definitely a classic topping. It tastes good. It's like kind of like a, people do spicy soppressata and stuff. That's bomb too, but this classic flavor, it's a little smoky, little spicy. This boar's head one, I like that because it does have a little tiny bit more spice than some of them. It's bomb. We're hooking it up fat. I'll try and get the exact count on here. Maybe throw it up on the blog. All right. That's looking pretty good to me. Let's go big. All right, that's looking good. I'm going to turn the oven now. That's going clockwise. Past that little lightning bolt, get into that lower range, the high end of that. We're going to load it up and let's watch this thing bake. Get this thing all loaded up. Once you get it on the peel like this, if you're doing this method of the stretch and load on the marble or whatever kind of work surface you're going on, this is your last moment to get it kind of rounded off, and you can also get it to stretch. We'll max this thing out. It's a 14-inch peel. I'm working a little slow here. You want to work really fast because this is metal. It'll stick to it real quick. Make sure those Ronis, hopefully we're going for the cuppage. We're going in. Deck temp was pretty hot. It was like actually at 875. Looking pretty good here. Get that loaded. Get this timer started. We'll see, that is like a little bit hotter than I like on the load, but so far so good. Shooting maybe for like a 3-4 minute bake. I'm gonna turn it down even more because I want to go thin, crispy. I was baking another Roni pie last night that came out bomb. You want to work some doming in it to make sure that the Roni's cup and you get some browning on the top on this method. All right, I'm about 30 seconds in. I'm gonna go for a turn. Look at that already, like a little leopardine. Kind of a goober turn there. We'll get it back. There, go a little bit. Get this thing still turning. About 45 seconds in. Looking pretty good. You can already see the cuppage from that natural casing Roni. Natural casing, that means it's not in some sort of, like they have like lab made casings and stuff like that. It's just a little bit headier. It doesn't have to be the super fancy stuff. Just whatever natural casing you can find should work. I like experimenting with different brands. This is looking really good. I love that when it's like a little leopardy. I felt like I had a really good bake last night on a similar pie. Hoping this one will do the same. I'm liking the looks of this. You know, we're not going, we loaded it really hot, but then we turned it down here to let it finish so we can get a little more even browning, a longer bake because we like it crispy. I'm just turning. I don't know, I got the habit of touching it. Better off if you got the right tool for the job, like an actual training peel. But you know, the little Ooni loading peel works too. We're up to 1:44 here. So far, so good. Actually, I'm gonna turn it again because that's the spot. You know, when you're turning, you can see like that one, this little area already got a lot of browning because that was at that back left corner when I loaded. So always want to keep on the eye. You start like zoning out. I'm in the lower slow bake mode, but you got that thing back there. It's burning. Not having a good time. All right, at this point we're up to 210. I'm gonna go ahead and just like turn this down even more to let this thing finish off. Get it as low as I can go. Sizzling. The little like chalices are popping up. That's what I like to see. Look at that browning on the top. Bottom's looking pretty good. You know, you can kind of come in here and dome it a little bit even now if you wanted. Want to make sure though when you're playing around though, don't drop it back in that left corner because even after you turn it down, it's a little bit rusty back there. I'm liking the looks of this. It's a mix of that 50-50, 00, and bread flour ratio along with some T85, a little rye in the mix too, and a little tiny bit of Durham just for fun, experimenting. We're up to 3 minutes now. This pizza is looking really good. Yeah, look at that. That leopardine right there. Man, that's like a vibe I really like there where it's like, you know, nice little golden browning in there. And those bubbles, like, that's not going to taste burnt. I like it, like, you know, fully brown, but, you know, not burnt. Some people, though, like, you might go even lighter, just bake it how you like, but this is looking really good to me. We're up to 330 now. I'll just peep this thing out for a second. Man, see, this is looking really close. I'm just going to let this kind of finish up. Make sure that bottom sets, that it's crispy. I want to be able to pick it up, not have it slop down. Oh, getting under there. Just kind of having a lax bake today. We're chilling out. Roni pie, I mean, that's like the classic. We're up to 4 minutes now. I'm thinking this has got to be done. Oh, yeah, look at that. I was blabbering too much and getting a little much too browning there. Let's put it up, a little dome it one more time. Up to 4 minutes. All right, I think this thing's looking good. Pulling it out. Look at that. The chalices of love, the Roni Cups, the Peps, super headies, like a little speckled brownie. Before I drop it, let's get it on the rack. As I always do. You know, you want to let it hang out, kick it for a minute. I say like 20 seconds, more for a minute. We're just letting that crust set underneath. If you just put it directly on a pan or something, it'll kind of just steam the bottom. And even if you have the crispy vibes, you realize that it'll get soggy. And then people are like, what's up, man? I thought you said thin and crispy. Well, you know, take good care of your pizza. You know, that artisan vibe, I guess, is taking care of every part of the way. And that includes maybe just letting it hang out and chill do its thing. Let it hang out. I'm going to slice this thing up. Let's give this thing a taste. I'm pumped. It looks really good. Roni Cups. It's pizza time. Roni Cups looking straight. Firemost. Headband all day. I'm pretty bummed on this one. The bake looked like it went pretty nice on this. Oh, where'd the pizza go? Well, it went right in here, and I assure you that was bomb. I just checked after we crushed the whole pie that my camera cut off because I had some technical difficulties. I just ran out of space. Total goober move. Always check your stuff. That's like checking that propane tank. Don't be mid-pie and like you're firing your pizza and that thing goes off. You're gonna have a bad day. It's a bummer though, because this pizza, it was straight up headies. We crushed it. What do I gotta say about it? It was really good. The bake was really nice. I really like that style of starting the oven hot. You know, the deck was around 850 when I loaded it, but I had already turned it down to the right, clockwise, past that little lightning bolt thing, into that lower range or whatever you want to call it, and went for that longer bake. Really like how it baked up. It was crispy, it was evenly brown, not burnt. I like a little bit crispier, but not fully burnt. Like, some of that stuff, it just gets to be a bit much. Into it, thin, crispy with those Roni Cups. Like we talked about before, how you get those things, the chalices of love, cupping up that yummy pepperoni. Grease makes it sound like a bad thing, but that for some people, that's their retirement. The retirement grease is chalice love, is Roni Cups. You gotta have that natural casing to do that. It doesn't really matter which brand you get. You just want to have that natural casing. You're gonna get a cup up. If you hand slice, you can play around with that size to see how much it cups. And also, it just got a different bite. When you go to that thicker one, it's like got this like crazy different mouthfeel. It's a little chewier. It's bomb. It's headies. I dug it. We're sitting in here in the booth for the full pizza vibes because I had that oregano in there, perfumed everything up. It's so good. It's unfortunate we didn't get to eat it together on camera, but life goes on. There'll be many more Roni pies in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please like and subscribe. Check out SantaBarbaraBaker.com for the recipe. Thank you for all the likes and subscriptions. Trying to grow this thing, bring pizza to everybody. Keep living that pizza dream, dreaming about pizza, eating pizza. It's one love. It's the pizza life. One love.